Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is for the Firebrand Championship of the XWA. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge will be TNT senior official Tony P. Standing in the corner to my right, he weighed in this afternoon at 180 pounds. He hails from Augusta, Georgia. This is Anthony Henry! Standing in the corner to my left, being accompanied to the ring by high-class Rich Bass. He hails from Hollywood, California, and weighs in at 201 pounds. He is the absolute Tyler Cintron!
Referee Tony P, senior official and official for this match for the Firebrand title as he displays it for all to see. Oh.
If you don't start pronouncing this man's name right, it's Tyler Cintron. If you keep calling him Citrus, we're out of here, and you're not getting any Firebrand title match. It's not gonna happen. It's Cintron, 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 Cintron.
Get control of yourself!
Hell of a start, hell of a start. Now it's underway.
It was made official earlier on in our broadcast, folks. Challenge made and accepted. The Firebrand Championship hangs in the balance as Cintron defends against two-time XWA champion Anthony Henry, former tag team champion Anthony Henry. This potential victory, John Roy, would make Anthony Henry the first ever XWA Triple Crown champion.
Triple Crown, Grand Slam, whatever you want to call it, he would be the first, absolutely. Maybe even second. He's the first ever, or he is not the first ever, but he is a two-time XWA champion.
Henry now switches up his stance and reverses the pressure in that wrist lock. Beautifully done. Now we know that Cintron is no spring chicken. He may have a bit of a shimmer and a shine to him, but he's not by any means green. It's going to be interesting to see how well he fares against Anthony Henry.
Does have Rich Bass in his corner, who is no stranger to shimmering and shining in the main events here at the XWA. Tony P keeping a close eye on the action as Anthony Henry gets that tackle, sending Cintron rolling out.
And, you know, John, we've barely seen 2 minutes go by on the clock, and Cintron cannot manage to even get near an advantage. So far, time of possession has been all Anthony Henry.
Rich Bass having a word with Cintron on the outside. You're right, Anthony Henry having possession most of the match. A little more experience, been around the block a few more times. I don't know if Tyler Cintron has what it takes. He can certainly keep up to pace for a little while. I'm not sure for how long, though.
Look at this. Somewhat of an even standoff. The stockier Tyler Cintron manages to fall to the canvas. Anthony Henry, with that lean bulk there, is able to maneuver in different ways and really throw that weight around to his advantage.
There's Anthony Henry going over the top rope, landing right on that title. To the floor. Into the guardrail.
And this just goes to show you what the Firebrand Championship means to both of these men. Both of you, all of you at home are probably thinking.
Both of you at home.
Both. There's only two of you watching, right? Many of you at home are probably thinking, why would Anthony Henry concern himself with such a title? But we've seen the XWA Firebrand Championship make superstars out of virtual nobodies. People that were not really recognized on a national circuit have been brought to a different light by holding said championship. And again, for Anthony Henry to hold, at least at one point in history, all three of XWA's championships, well, that really says something.
Yeah, Tony P there. You saw Anthony Henry on the outside. Tony P make it to the count of 9 before Anthony Henry rolled back in. Got himself stuck in that corner. Sends him into the corner.
Cintron driving the elbow to the back of Henry's skull. Not a single bit of love lost or gained between these two. It is all business, and it is all for the Firebrand title.
And back to what you were saying earlier about Anthony Henry having the need and the advantage and the want and all that to win all these titles. Imagine how much of a blow, how much of a halt of momentum it would be to Tyler Cintron if he lost his title tonight.
Significantly. We've seen him show up and just been absolutely dominant since day one. The guy has really made a name for himself in a short amount of time. But yeah, for Henry...
Is it the title? Is it the advantages he's had holding the title? We can find out.
Right now he's going shot for shot with a former two-time XWA champion. That and Anthony Henry. Evolve Wrestling's Anthony Henry. And this is not just some bingo hall schlub. This is top-tier talent right here. This is championship caliber competition.
Top-tier two-time XWA heavyweight champion.
I do love me alliteration, though.
A lot of that tonight. A lot of spitting tonight, too. Makes these guys top talent. No spitting.
Big reversal of the whip. Sends Henry into the buckles yet again. And Cintron could be starting to mount himself somewhat of a plan here, John Roy.
Seeing what it takes. Tyler Cintron, I'm not sure how familiar with Anthony Henry he is when it comes to being in the ring with him. And I'm pretty sure it's their first encounter here tonight.
Oh, I think he's done a good amount of homework. You notice how he wasn't so quick to go to the ground with Henry. Wait, cover here applied. Lazy pin, but not so quick to go right to the ground with Henry. And anyone who's done their homework would know that Henry's got one of the fiercest ground games of anyone in the national circuit.
He does have Rich Bass on his side, too. We've seen Anthony Henry perform countless times here at the event center. Could have clued him in on some of that.
Absolutely.
So who knows? Maybe from a mental standpoint, they're on the same playing field. Both similar builds, similar height.
Ooh, chop block attempt, but Cintron stands strong. Utilizing those ropes for a little extra support. Henry now could be mounting somewhat of a comeback here.
Oh, went for the leap. Oh, Jesus. Went for the leapfrog into the fireman carry, dropped right on his head.
Henry charges in. Beautiful leaping back elbow. A lot of torque on that vertical suplex.
It's that athleticism of Henry.
European uppercut from that second buckle. Will it be enough? Not quite. And I can't say I'm surprised. Cintron, he's very polished. You know, he's good at what he does. He's a very well-versed, all-around, solid wrestler. Anthony Henry does not have just one discipline. He is well-versed in many different martial arts, and we're seeing that all on display. Could it be too much for Cintron to handle?
Another thing with Anthony Henry, too, look at him now. Look at that picture of him hanging up on the wall. He's a completely different person, completely different shape as he delivers that knee to the outside of the ring.
You're right, John Roy. You can see a lot more muscle definition on Anthony Henry, really taking his conditioning to another level.
I mean, he was at the top then. He's at the top now. Rolls through it. Into the cutter.
Cintron on the right place at the right time. Still didn't quite have a whole lot of pressure up top. A single leg hook is not going to floor Anthony Henry. I don't care who you are and what you just delivered. It's not going to happen. So that zigzag attempt.
Blocks it as Henry fires back with the elbows to the forehead.
Cintron out on his feet, attempts the reversal here. Henry goes a little bit early for that back body drop. Both men putting the cart before the horse. Oh!
He's dead. He's not dead.
A brain buster onto the knee. It could have been a shoulder breaker. Either which way, that was meant to take out Henry.
It was gruesome. Rich Bass calling for the crowd to stop cheering for Henry.
That never works.
Tell him that.
No, I'll let him blow his vocal cords out. That's fine. Cintron not trying to allow Henry back into the upper hand of this matchup. Henry talking a whole lot of trash as he makes his way to his knees. He's not going to allow Cintron to get inside of his head. He makes it to a vertical base yet again.
Jesus.
Those very educated feet doing quite a bit of damage. As both of these men are starting to grow a little bit weary, a little bit tired, fatigue may be setting in, John Roy, because we are now approaching the 11-minute mark of this matchup.
Both men one-on-one. Putting in their all for the Firebrand title. It would make Anthony Henry, as we said, the first ever Triple Crown Grand Slam. We haven't even thought of a name for it yet. Champion.
Cintron with a
and this could do it too. Nope. Rolling him through.
Henry looked to isolate that leg earlier on during their first encounter, and he's doing so again. And Bass at the helm breaks up that submission attempt.
Cintron knocking out Bass. Henry again for the pin. Couldn't do it. Only two. Got him up again. Oh, into the referee.
Tony P has just collided with Anthony Henry. And Cintron takes a cheap shot to the nether regions. We don't have another official. John Roy, where the hell is Commissioner Perez?
Where's all the other referees?
Tyler Calloway's nowhere to be seen. I didn't see him in the locker room earlier on during intermission. God only knows where he is.
We know the Phoenix is here tonight. I'm surprised he's not here doing something about it.
Tyler Cintron has that Firebrand championship in his grasp. Tony P's out on the mat. Henry ducks it. The swing attempt. And he's back on that left knee of Cintron.
Cintron's tapping. He's tapping, but the referee's out. And Rich Bass has covered him up. Tony P is dead.
He's not dead, but he's certainly not conscious enough to take note of what happened.
We need an official to check on the official. Cintron gets the shot in with the title. Referee doesn't see it. Hopefully the ref didn't hear me yelling it. And Cintron retains.